Take two or eight. Okay, here we go. We got this. It's because I'm wearing a blue shirt. World news. Big wheels keep on turning. The planet keep on burning. Burning, 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 burning down the planet. This week, all of the big news stories really seem to point to the planet being on fire. 18 people have been killed in Myanmar as they protest a military coup. 47 pro-democracy activists have been arrested in Hong Kong for subversion. The Dominican Republic has decided that they are going to build a border wall to keep out Haitians. A California doctor took a Zoom call while performing a surgery, and no one can tell me what the Netflix show Behind Her Eyes is about, except to say there's juice in it. And that pretty much sums it up. Oh, wait, Lady Gaga's dog walker was shot, and her dogs kidnapped for ransom. And although the dogs have been returned, honestly, it must really hurt that person's feelings knowing that some guy was like, yeah, they know Lady Gaga, but the dog's more valuable, so shoot him. Local news. Last week, it was revealed that former Prime Minister Hubert Ingraham had contracted COVID and was receiving treatment in a hospital. Initially, he experienced shortness of breath and malaise, which either means he had COVID or he saw the slate of candidates that the Afrin were putting out for the next election. Was it shortness of breath or was it like an exacerbated sigh? Yeah. According to the Minister of Health, Renwick Wells, vaccinations could start as early as this week. Okay. But politicians are not on the list of people who will be first in line to get it.
It is not our intention to offer it to politicians in the first group.
At first, this was a little concerning because it sounded like they don't really trust it. And personally, I feel like if this is a situation where y'all trying to figure out if the fridge stopped working and if the vaccine spoil or not, it'd be quicker to try it out on the politicians. It's only 39 of y'all and the senators, I guess. But I mean, honestly, the only senator that anybody can remember is Rodney Munker. Wells would later clarify, saying that both he and the Prime Minister were getting the vaccine. So that means that some politicians will have access to this life-saving vaccine to allow them to safely campaign in 12 weeks from now. And if you ain't get ratified, don't expect to get that vaccine. So when exactly are the vaccines going to begin? Well, that's where the story really starts.
Rollout could start as early as next week, but I will leave those up to, I will leave the announcement of such things up to the Honorable Prime Minister, who has been the testicular head and leading the charge.
Wells is leaving the announcement up to the Prime Minister because the Prime Minister is the testicular head. Is he calling the Prime Minister a dickhead? Minnis isn't my favorite person either, but I mean, Renwick, that's just disrespectful. And while a lesser, quieter man would just accept that they'd made a mistake and wait for the teasing to go down, not Minister Wells. He is not a lesser man.
Yesterday was my birthday, and I ended up in the debate with an older gentleman, a policeman. And this gentleman was quite informed about my political beliefs, and he was a little upset over the fact that I am one of those who believe that the Bahamas should become a republic, which means that we would remove the Queen as our titular head. And so that is what I intended to say, and as a result of it, it didn't come out exactly like I intended. And what I wanted to say was that the Prime Minister is more than a titular head.
Wells, your excuse is dumb. One, you're still mispronouncing the word titular. It's not the same word as whatever you were struggling to say. And two, based on what you claim to have actually said, that means that you would think that the Prime Minister has no power, although prime ministers have an obscene amount of power. And even though you tried to backtrack on that, number 3, your long convoluted story doesn't make sense because no one was talking about becoming a republic when they asked you, when is the vaccine coming out? Why are you telling us that you just come from a birthday? Unless you trying to say like you had a couple drinks and then you went to cabinet inebriated. No, that cannot be what you're saying. See, this is the issue with politicians. This is a simple mistake. Just say, I misspoke, and that'd be the end of it. But you are so afraid of looking dumb that you are trying to convince us that we dumb. So you bring up this unrelated story and try to make it fit because at the end of the day, you are a liar. And you are lying about something so simple and pointless that you don't need to lie about it. But that's how liars are. In other news, last week, Lanisha Roll submitted a resignation from the position of Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture. Lanisha gone far, far away. For anyone young and sporty and cultural, I want you to know something. Prayer changes things. So to the people of Seabrius, keep praying. The big question was, why did she resign? According to her father, because Minnis won't ratify her. And let's be honest. Look at Lanisha Daddy and look at Minnis doing these leg ups in the gym. Only one of these men trying to impress us. The other one clearly don't have nothing to lose except for a stack of papers scribbled on with what I can only assume is a crayon. I don't know. All the Minnis day ones and his ride or dies dropping out like flies. Peter gone, Lanisha gone. At this rate, I assume that we're going to get a resignation from the office of the spouse of the prime minister any minute. Yeah, you forgot that was a thing, right? I know that Peter is dealing with his investigation, but now there's an investigation at the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture. Of course, it is important to remember that the prime minister said the investigation is not about her, even though he was the one who brought it up when talking about her resignation. I'm sure they're only investigating something simple like who keeps stealing the parliamentary secretary's lunch out the office fridge, or who is the person that is heating up fish in the microwave and scenting up the entire building. Or why would Minnis put somebody who lacks culture in charge of culture? Sorry, who lacks Junkanoo? I misread that. That's on me. I apologize. Who lacks Junkanoo? I wonder if they made her resign because they ran out of ministries to put her in. Listen, guys, it is the 4th quarter. Election time is here again. We have a song quota. You cannot be dropping the ball by implying, even briefly, that your own people are under investigation. But I will give you a point for throwing your own people under the bus. It saves us the $1.25 for Jitney. That was a reference to the success of the bus pilot program helmed by Minister Renwick Wells before he was shuffled from transportation to health. It was not a success. But honestly, this is a little weird to have this many cabinet ministers quit. 4, that has to be a record. You can't have more water than people on your boat, if that makes sense. Because it's going to make me, as a voter, question, is the problem the team or the team captain? Or whoever is putting the team together? Why is everything falling apart? And people quick to accuse you of corruption based on the people that you're choosing to hang with. That's why I don't go downtown like that. Too much crooked people there in Parliament. Finally, earlier in this show, I called Minister Wells a liar. And while some people are going to critique, how can I call him a liar? What they don't realize is that 2 months ago, it was my birthday. And I had a conversation with a liturgical anthropologist. And we were talking about string instruments. They brought up how I think the lyre is a superior string instrument to the bass guitar. So when I called Renwick a liar, I meant that he was musical. Why? If you like what you see, consider buying me a cup. I don't want to say a pot of coffee. No, a cup of coffee on Ko-fi. Link is in the description somewhere around here. Also, we're doing a thing. Soon, I will reveal the thing and how you can assist in making the thing happen. That's all. Bye.